Hi, all the signs of the Zodiac. I'm Pam, and welcome to your mid-month Psychic Tarot update for June 2018. This month I'm using the Hanson-Roberts Tarot deck. And remember, these are general readings. And to get messages pertaining specifically for you, you would need a private reading. Please be sure to watch your rising sign and your moon sign for more insight and information, because some months they're going to resonate more for you than your sun sign will. To go directly to your sign, you can click on the timestamps below in the Show More descriptions section under the video, and I'm also posting them every month in the comments section. I hope these readings are going to be helpful and useful to you as you travel through the rest of the month of June. Now on to your mid-month Psychic Tarot update. And the first sign I'm going to start with is Aries. Aries, the first of the two cards you have in your reading today is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups to me is sadness, loss, and regret. Not all hope is lost, because there are still two cups that are upright behind the person. Now, sometimes this can mean having a trouble with alcohol, or someone connected to you could have a problem with alcohol, but that's not always the case. It's generally sadness, loss, and regret of some sort. I feel like you have a lot of things to be thankful for, but I do get this energy of you pretty much on a daily basis worrying about something. And I feel like you're having trouble coping with something, and it may feel to you like something in your life has gone south. So something has, something's been changed or altered here for you that you feel is like going downhill. Some of you may not feel as good as you used to. You may feel like your vitality and your energy is being sapped. You know, that could be because we're going into Mars retrograde. And this could be strongly affecting you, Aries. That could be draining your energy and making you feel more angry, but you could be turning it inward. You have some sense of feeling bad or guilty. Maybe you said or did something to a relative, or said something to someone maybe you feel like you shouldn't have said. I don't know, but I get this little bit of feeling bad and feeling guilty about something. I feel you're worked up about something. And I do feel that you want to try to correct it or fix it. That also comes up here. So you may start to make some moves or strides towards correcting something, righting some wrong, especially if it's something you feel guilty about, or if there's something that's on the decline that has gone south for you. And even it could even involve your health and vitality for some of you. Some of you feel like there's something you want to get off your chest. You want to unburden yourself. Maybe you want to talk to a therapist or a spiritual counselor, or to seek out a friend or somebody that you feel would be impartial, that you could, unburden yourself and get maybe an impartial opinion. Now, the second card you have here could have to do with all of that. You have the Eight of Rods, which could be news coming to you swiftly. Some kind of message or communication could be coming at you. This can also mean to me long distance travel or sudden change. It could even involve change. I see some of you feeling like there's some kind of mess you're in, and you're going to think about how you can get out of it. Maybe you're in debt. Or maybe you've gotten in hot water with a love relationship or a relative or a friend, and or it could be even at work. But some hot water you feel like you're getting into. You may want to be thinking about how you want to get out of it. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if in June someone stops and tells you everything they think. And this could be about you, your actions, or opinions they've had about your work or your progress or how you've treated them, or maybe it doesn't even have to do with you. Maybe they're upset about something else, but they're going to stop and they're going to tell you everything they think. So be prepared for that in June. I feel this news is going to be I don't want to give you negative predictions, Aries. I don't. I'm Aries rising. So any of you Aries that think I got it in for Aries is totally false. I don't like to hear it when negative things come up for Aries because, you know, it could be affecting me too. So just keep that in mind when I tell you things I don't like or that you don't like. I feel this news is going to, whatever this person says to you or this news that's coming at you, I don't really feel like you're going to like it. Now, maybe some of you, that won't be the case and it'll be happy news, but look at the card you got with it. So your two cards together pretty much indicate this is the theme of this is the theme here. So I'm not feeling like if somebody stops and tells you what they want to say, that you're going to be hearing the best communication here. Some of you may have to do a rebalancing of your finances. You may be doing rectifying your, reconciling your checkbook or trying to rectify your finances in some way, getting out of debt or getting into debt relief programs. Some of you may be doing that. But if you're doing well financially, Aries, you could just be wanting to reorganize or restructure your finances or get an additional job or upgrade what you're doing so more money comes your way. So I hope these readings were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Taurus. And the first card you have here, Taurus, is the Sun. And this to me is joy, happiness. Could be the spotlight is on you. Success in the material world. Could even be love. Could have to do with a child even. I feel like you have a lot of positive feedback and good things coming your way, especially through written feedback or written words or verbal communication. I get like good news, good feedback, positive words coming at you. I feel like June, you're going to feel like you can loosen up a little bit. You might be letting your hair down more and not feeling so pent up or restricted. Whatever business or career field you're in, I hear you're going to be making waves in it, but in a positive way. I don't feel like this is negative. It's like whatever you're putting out there for, you know, your work, your career, your business, something new you want to start, it's making waves, but the waves are positive. That's how it comes up to me for you, Taurus. Some of you have someone that's going to come in here and give you some kind of opportunity. And I feel like you're going to jump on it and take it. And for some of you, I feel like it's a money-making venture or a new job or a business opportunity. But for some of you, it could even be in love. So you just have to see how it plays out for you personally. I think a lot of things are going to be changing here, and my guides are saying it's going to be so much better and uplifting, and things will be good on your behalf. Your creative energy is flowing really strong, and you may shift into a different time zone and be working from a different time zone. Might be temporarily, could be for an extended period of time. It's not going to be the same for all of you. But I do get creativity, creative projects. They're blossoming and flowing. Your ideas are going to be on fire. Lots of people are going to be saying positive things about you and wanting to give you either more money, new positions, or some kind of opportunity. So that's what you have coming up here with the Sun. Now, as with most of the signs, I'm going to say this, I noticed this month, it seems like one card is good, one card is not so good. You have it here too. You have Five of Pentacles. Now, Five of Pentacles is financially bankrupt, emotional bankruptcy, could be depression of two people, could be of one person, could be you need to check out your finances. Maybe you're not paying attention to them and you need to pay more attention to them or straighten something out with your finances. Some of you, this is actually something that had been going on where you had to struggle so long with your finances. And if that occurred to you and for you and in your life recently, then I feel you're starting to actually come out of it if you go back and listen to the Sun card. I feel like maybe your card is reversed. This one should have come up for you first, but Some of you are going to be in the position where you have to take care of things for other people, and this could be family members to you, or, you know, I don't know, friends, but it feels more like what you would do for family, where you may have to help them out financially. They may be in difficulty. You may be starting to do really well with your finances, and now you have to turn around and you have to give assistance or help someone else that has need. If you've been a little tight-fisted or stingy or holding on too protectively to your money, now is the time for you to become more generous and magnanimous. If you are going through a struggle right now of cash, or lack of cash, I feel around December, some of you are going to get a windfall of cash. It could be an inheritance. It could be, I don't know what, a bonus, a grant. Somebody could just be wanting to invest in you and give you money. You could be getting, what's that called? When they give you money before you start something. I can't think of the name of it. I really feel like around the winter holiday time. I know this is June and you're going to be like, why is she saying this here? I don't know. My guides are saying it. I'm telling you what they're saying. So you're also going to have, and I don't say this lightly because I don't talk about angels that much. I do believe in them, but I don't. You have a lot of angelic presence in your life right now. And that to me is pretty big. I've heard some people, they spout about angels left and right, left and right. I'm not saying that's not true, that they don't intercede in our life, but in our lives. But the way for the past 17 years of doing readings professionally, when angels come in or angels are mentioned, to me that's like big news. So just think on that, Taurus. So I hope this reading was of help to you. Now on to the sign of Gemini. First card you have here, Gemini, is the Devil. This could be addicted to something: drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, spending money, pornography, sugar, caffeine, overeating, cigarettes, alcohol, whatever. It can also be addicted, which is what this means most usually to me. First is being addicted to an unhealthy relationship or being trapped and bound to an unhealthy relationship or situation. I feel there's something in your life going on where you feel very unresponsive, or something you don't like that's going on. Some of you may feel like you've been violated or isolated or alone. Those three adjectives came up here. Some of you Geminis have to extricate yourself from people that are trying to bring you down or pin you down. Now, this could be, maybe you have a group of friends that are not healthy for you, or maybe a company or a group that you're involved with that you have to work for, or a firm or an office or a company or a business. Maybe they have like immoral or unhealthy energy or work situations going on, or they're doing something unethical. But whatever this is, it's something that's bringing down your energy, Gemini. That's what the feeling is here. Right now in June, I feel like you're having difficulty seeing things as in shades of gray. It feels to me like your perceptions and perspectives in June is like everything's black or white. No intermingled shades of gray in situations for some reason. I'm not saying you're always like that, Gemini, but it feels like you're like that in some regard in this month of June. Some of you have procrastinated a long time about something, and you're having a hard time getting yourself moving. So if you were like wanting to get motivated about leaving a love relationship, or leaving an unhealthy living situation, or getting out of a job you really couldn't stand or didn't like, or you were too alone and you haven't been getting yourself out there in the dating scene or trying to mingle with people and you're just isolating yourself, it's like the Devil is actually procrastination for some of you Geminis. Now, the other card you have here is the Knight of Cups, And this is usually a water sign person. This is either a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. That could be their sun sign, their rising sign, or their moon sign. Gemini, this could also be you if your rising or moon sign is a water sign. I feel like there's a lot of things you're trying to figure out about this Knight of Cups in June, and for some of you, they may be aggravating you or getting you mad. You may feel like they're giving you double talk, or they're leading you down some path that's like too much full of cloudy gray area. Like I said, you don't have that feeling. Everything's black and white to you in June in some regard, but you may feel like this Knight of Cups is leading you down an unclear path. Some of you may be dealing with a Knight of Cups that's stealing things from you. They could be stealing your money, your work. They could be getting into your accounts. They could be looking into your, if they know your passwords and this is an X, they could be looking into your bank accounts, looking into emails that you have, change your passwords. I would definitely do that. Some of you, this Knight of Cups may be somebody that is kind of stalking you on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere on social media, on dating sites. They could also be, let's put it to you this way. I'm not feeling like you're warm and fuzzy and happy about this Knight of Cups. I feel like they're like a thorn in your side for some of you. You may look at them like they're messing up their life. They could have a problem with alcohol, honestly, for some of you. They may have some problem with an addiction or a crutch that they use. And I see you feeling like you want them to stop doing some kind of behavior they're exhibiting that you're like, kind of like fed up to hear with it. They also may be somebody in your life that's trying to hide things from you or keep secrets from you. They could be a spouse. They could be a child to you. I don't know. You got to see how it plays out for all you Geminis. See if you can figure out who this Knight of Cups is. But I do feel in some regards, your two cards were connected. For some of you, they're not connected, but for some of you, this Knight of Cups was connected to the Devil card. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Please stay tuned at the beginning of the month of July, because my readings at the beginning of the month are definitely 2 or 3 times as long as this update here. So now on to the sign of Cancer. And the first card you have here, Cancer, is the Fool. And this is starting out on a new path and a new journey with high hopes and high aspirations, but you have to have your wits about you and be grounded because you don't want to fall off the cliff. So you have to pay attention to what you're doing. Some of you are getting ready to travel. Some of you are getting ready to move. Some of you may really feel like, I can't let the grass grow under my feet anymore. I have to leave this place. So whatever this place is for you, it's either going to be a place where you live, could even be the town you live in or the state you live in, could just be an apartment or a house that you live in, but it could be a living situation, but it can also be a job. It could even be a job. Some of you Cancers will be taking some form of education coming up soon, and or classes, training, education comes up for many of you Cancers, even if it's only like a 1-week class or, a class for 6 weeks. It's still a class or education or training. Some of you are going to be going through that. Some of you need to do, you may be thinking this, or the guides think it. I'm not sure who thinks it, but doing some kind of upgrade to yourself, like with your appearance, like maybe change your hairstyle or start eating differently and lose some weight, or change what you're eating, or start exercising. But you've got and you know what? The guides are also acting like you need to be upgraded. It could be even through the classes and knowledge of training. So it could be also an intellectual and educational upgrade. But some of you may want to do something that you feel like, oh, I want to wear my hair in a different way, or I want to change the hair color, or, I need to upgrade my appearance in some way. That comes up for some of you Cancers. I see some of you making a big commitment to someone, and you may do this in writing. It could be documents that you sign and put in the mail. So it could be a commitment to start a new job, or to buy a home, or to sign a lease, or it could be to get involved in a love relationship. I don't know, or sign up for something, schools, classes, anything that could involve like documentation and things like that does come up here. And like the mail comes up also, like through the mail. Next card you have here is the Sun, and the Sun is joy, happiness, returning to the childhood joy and exuberance you had as a kid. It can also mean the spotlight being on you. It can also mean success in the material world, or even this card can come up at times in love, when love is happening. Some of you Cancers are about ready to embark on a new love relationship. So if it hasn't happened to you yet, it could be coming very, very, very soon. I do see some of you Cancers taking a lot of time out for yourself to sit down and ask yourself some serious questions to figure out what it is you want to do. Like, what's the next step you actually want to do with your life moving forward. You are having a hard time coming to terms with some decisions other people are making around you, or whether it has to do directly to you, with you and them, or not. I just see you having a hard time dealing with some decisions some people have been making that you're dealing with, or that are connected to you. Some of you are getting invited to attend a party or a gathering. This is probably really good. I do keep picking up the energy of you feeling like you're more free. You're going to start to feel like you're more free, especially when you get into the month of July. July and maybe even August. And you know, there is an eclipse in your sign in July. So that brings in new beginnings. It also can bring in closures and endings. So I'm not sure of the date of that. You'd have to look that up on the internet. But I'm 99% sure one of those eclipses is in the sign of Cancer. Some of you may have to visit a doctor, and you may have either your ear looked at, you could have something wrong with your foot, or you may have to get a colonoscopy. I know that's like, what? What did she just say here? But I get some kind of medical thing that you have to do, or may want to get checked, or some procedure, or just get something checked out. And those are the three areas that came up. So sorry, they're not related and they sound goofy, but that is what my guides are telling me. Some of you Cancers, you really do have a new relationship that's brewing. It's in the offing. It's coming up. And for many of you, this is a romantic love relationship. For those of you that are already coupled then are happy, and it's not going to be love, it could be a child being born to you, or a grandchild being born into your family. It could be a new friendship forming, or a business partnership. It doesn't always have to mean love. But I see this new relationship brewing in the offing and ready to form. But for many of you, like I said, it's love. So I hope this reading was of help to you. Now on to the sign of Leo. First card you have here, Leo, is the Page of Pentacles. And this could be an earth sign person, either being a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. That could be their sun sign, their rising sign, or their moon sign. They could be young at heart, or they could be immature, or they could be a child to you. This could also be you, Leo, if you have a rising sign or moon sign that is an earth sign. They may be having a hard time, and they may be starting to rearrange their life or do some things differently, this Page of Pentacles. You may be wanting to help them, give them knowledge, wisdom, guidance. You may give this person coaching. You may be coaching them. You may be a life coach or a counselor of some sort, and you're coaching them. Or they could be related to you. They could be your child or grandchild, and you're like putting your arm around them, or even a spouse. It doesn't matter. It could be a grown-up. You could be putting your arm around them and saying, you know what, I want to help you through this, or I want to give you some insight and guidance to help you along your path. For some of you, this Page of Pentacles is willful. and they may be a little bit stubborn and obstinate. So doesn't mean that you can't deal with them, but this may be their traits, and this may be like a problem for them. Like it may have caused some difficulties going through their life because of this stubbornness or obstinate behavior. They may have really gone through a tough time. And they could have had some kind of addiction. For some of you, this would apply to them. They could also just be going through a difficult time within their family. Like they could have had family issues and problems. It's like, I feel like either you're trying to get them to straighten their life out, or they are trying to straighten their life out and you're helping them. That could be something that's going on here with you in this Page of Pentacles. You know, I do feel they're challenging. This Page of Pentacles is challenging, but people love this page. It's a lovable person. That's what I'm hearing. So even though they may be challenging and have been obstinate or whatever and had been difficult to deal with, I do feel people and you love or care about this page. Now you've got the Wheel of Fortune next, and to me this is the karmic wheels of fate either turning in your favor, or it can be the ups and downs of karma, because as you know, I do not let the cards flip upside down. My guides are going to tell me whether this card is positive or negative for you. There's some kind of jump start or quick start and some kind of advancement that's going on here in June. If you're a Leo that's just getting into a newfound relationship, it's going to give you a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of love. So for some of you, you're entering into a new love relationship. And you know what, Leo? You may be, it could be, some of you, this could be your new love partner, possibly for some of you. Some of you may feel like you need a break from what you're doing, and I feel like June, or things going on in June, or people you're associating with in June, are going to be instigators of change. It's going to be instigating change in your life. Expect a lot of interesting information coming at you out of the blue, and it may be kind of surprising, and it may be off the hook kind of information and energy. So don't be surprised of that. And you know, we do have Mercury, Mars is retrograde towards the end of June, but we have Mercury going retrograde in July, and that may be why this is happening about the communication. You're not going to sit still. You're going to be leading the charge in some kind of divinely ordained plan that you can't come here to do. So actually, it really is reading like karma or dharma for me, for you. Like, that's how I'm reading it. Like, you're getting ready to, like, go on some advanced spiritual journey, or taking things that you're doing to another level or advancing it further. But I feel like if you're like, well, I'm not doing that with my work, or it could be something else, a side thing, something you're going to write or create or say to the world or produce. It's like the heavens, the universe is giving you manna. It's like you're going to be, it's like if you were to put Miracle Grow on your plants. You're the plant. The universe is giving you the water with a Miracle Grow, and you're going to start producing all these wonderful, and a lot of it has to do with spirituality, and or if it's not to do with spirituality, it is part of your dharma of what you came here to do. So that's coming up strongly in June, but I also feel it goes on further. It's not like, oh, June's over and that's done. It's like you've got a progression here that's going to go between now and at least to the end of October, or maybe even to the end of the year and beyond, Leo. So hopefully those messages made sense to you. Now on to the sign of Virgo. Hi Virgo, the first card you have here is Six of Pentacles, and this is giving money generously and freely to others. You could be receiving generosity from other people. This could also be financial success. It can also mean the balance of give and take. Your cash flow is going to increase. I do feel some of you are going to receive a large sum of money. This could be a sale of a house, a settlement in a legal dispute. It could be an inheritance, or I don't know, but it could be for some work or great project that you did and you're getting paid for it. Royalty checks and commission checks and bonus checks all could apply here as well. You know, it's a very weird energy. I had to really listen to them like extra hard to hear what they were driving at. I feel like for some reason, this is going to throw you off balance. On one hand, I feel you're going to feel like, oh, I have to hurry up and keep working more or harder or try to keep earning more money, like it's like a wave you want to keep riding. But then I see others of you being like disarmed and like confused, like, wait a minute, now I got this money, now what do I do? Do I keep pushing forward and trying to work, or do I sit back and coast, or is there something else I'm supposed to be doing here? So some of you, I see this issue throwing you off kilter, which is kind of unique and a little unusual. Some of you may be taking into account everybody's spending and putting them on a budget. This could be within your own home. It could be in a business where you work and maybe everybody's spending is getting off the hook and you're supposed to like rein everybody in, and like maybe there's expense accounts or there's spending going on within a business or a company, and you have to be the, you know, the one to look through everything and say, okay, whoa, put on the brakes. You need to be on a budget. You need to, you know, slow it down. I don't know. But again, this could be in a home situation, could also be in a club, group, or organization you belong to if there's money that gets spent to do with certain projects or things to do with the company, with the group, or the association or whatever it is you belong to, and maybe you have to be the voice of reason. You're really studying entrepreneurship. I feel you may even start looking into starting your own business or taking classes or courses about how to start your own business. This could be online. It could be at a community college. It could be at adult school. I don't know. I see you like really focusing on that. You have Eight of Pentacles here next, and that kind of makes sense to me. This is starting a new craft, starting a new business, starting a new job, learning a new skill, and bringing in more money and finances, because number 8 is going to attract the money to you. Sometimes this is called the card of the apprentice. If you're a working Virgo for another company, I feel you're going to get singled out for something good that you did and get promoted. Even if you don't work for another company and you do something on your own, you could get singled out by another company or talent scouts or agents or whoever could look at you, your work, your abilities, what you're doing, and single you out in some way, and then there'll be something good coming from that being noticed, being recognized, that being singled out. As I said, for some of you, it's going to be a promotion or a new job opportunity is going to get offered to you by somebody who's checked out what you've been doing and your work. If you feel overwhelmed, you may start and figure out, you know what, like this is almost too much work for me to do. You may start subcontracting people out and getting some assistance or help to alleviate some of the pressure or workload or stress that you may have, because I feel for some of you Virgos, like you have too much to do, too much on your plate, and you may need to either ask bosses and higher ups if you can get an assistant, or would you be able to farm out some of the duties you have to other people, because maybe you're just getting too overwhelmed right now in June by having too much work or too many deadlines or too much pressure and things to do. In the next 5 to 6 months, could even be 5 to 6 weeks, but I really feel it's 5 to 6 months. Over the course of this time, or in 5 to 6 months, the rewards of work you're doing now are going to be very sweet. So Things are going to be paying off for you based on the hard work and efforts and things that you're doing now in June and even in the month of July. 5 to 6 months from now, you get big payoffs from that. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Please stay tuned to the beginning of July, because my beginning of the month psychic tarot readings are 3 times as long as this brief update. Now on to the sign of Libra. And the first card you have, Libra, is 2 of Pentacles. And the 2 of Pentacles is weighing your options, having to make a decision or a choice between 2 things. It could be wishy-washy thinking. You could be thinking about 2 loves, 2 jobs, 2 places to live. But it's usually there's emotions tied up here, and it's weighing your options of some sort. I feel like you may feel like situations are really changing for you in mid-June to the end of June, and you may feel like you have too much on your plate or like you're juggling too many things. Some of you Libras are having a little bit of a struggle deciding what you need to part with or get rid of in June, July, and August. And this could be stuff that you need to get rid of. It could even be jobs or love relationships or people that are unhealthy for you. Some of you Libras are doing digging, doing investigative work, digging into something. Could be court documents, legal papers, files, old accounts. Could even be like if you have suspicion of somebody stealing anything from you or being deceitful to you. You may start doing some investigative work, like hire a private investigator or just start doing some digging of some things on your own. It could be even digging and investigative work that actually are connected to do with study. Some of you could be studying for big tests, big exams. That's possible for some of you. I feel like you're having a little bit of a difficult time balancing your thoughts and your emotions in June and even part of July, where you're not really sure what you want, or your heart wants one thing and your mind's telling you another. So you could be going back and forth of some kind of juggling between your heart and your mind for some of you. Some of you may experience a cough, laryngitis, or something to do with your airways. Like I said, coughing, laryngitis, could be sore throat, swollen glands, anything like that, but especially coughing and laryngitis, or even your sore throat or your tonsils hurting you could be kicking up for some of you in June. Some of you are witnessing a lot of relationships falling apart or shifting and changing going on around you. And this may cause you to question relationships you're in. Now, the second card you have here, Libra, is the Tower. And this is an explosion, an argument. It could be a fight that ends a love relationship, a fight that ends a friendship. It could just be a fight or an argument. It could be casting off of an old paradigm so a new paradigm could begin. You could have some kind of awakening. Some change could happen here. It could even be a fire to a building. Some of you are having some kind of spiritual awakening where you're going to feel like you need things to change in your life, and you are starting to see things in a new light and maybe even gaining some new perspectives. Some of you are going to have an argument or have it out with someone close to you. This could be a sibling, it could be one of your kids or grandkids or somebody you work with really closely. It's somebody you're close to. I do pick up for some of you. Keep in mind this is a general reading, and what I say here is not going to apply to all of you. And if what I'm saying so far isn't really resonating with you, you need to watch your rising sign or your moon sign. Some of you may experience this. Don't freak out. I know you're not going to want to hear this, Libra. Don't be mad at me. Some of you may find out like somebody's asking you to leave a job. It could happen for some of you. But it may be because the company's changing or they're getting rid of a lot of people. They're downsizing. That doesn't make you feel any better if that's the case. But that's only going to be for some of you. Again, keep in mind this is a general reading. You may witness a big overturn of events where like people are getting overthrown and thrown off their thrones of power. So you could see bosses get fired. You could see higher ups, CEOs get exposed, fired, quit. Could be scandals around you. So some of you could experience, like if the company's trying to downsize and let people go, there is a portion of you that some of you may be asked to leave. But for those of you that either could or may not apply to, I see people like higher ups, people in positions of power getting fired, let go, scandal coming out, things like that. So stay tuned for the beginning of July, Libra, because those readings are 3 times as long as this little mid-month update here. So now on to the sign of Scorpio. First card you have here, Scorpio, is the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles can be tired and exhausted of your hard work and efforts, but gaining financial gain and rewards from those hard work and efforts. Could also be worried about money or just feeling tired and exhausted for all the work that you're doing. Some of you Scorpios may be looking at your finances and feel like you don't like the way they're going at the moment, or you may feel like your finances are a little bit disorganized or in some kind of state of disruption. Some of you may be worried a little bit about your money, like if you can't get more money coming in, or you need an advance or a raise or more money to be coming in, because you may be worried about debts. Debts may be on your mind here, or if you have any deadlines of having to pay for something, maybe you're not feeling like you're going to be able to come up with the money in enough time. That's the case for some of you, not all of you. Some of you are going to experience financial breakthroughs that will benefit you, that are going to come about in the month of August 2018. Some of you, I feel like you either feel like you're paying too much in taxes, or you're paying too much child support, or paying too much money towards debts and things like that. And you may be feeling like you're having a little bit of a struggle here. If your job has become stuck, stayed, boring, or you don't feel like you are getting paid enough money, I do feel that some of you will be making the decision to leave where you are and to be getting a different job, and will be getting a different job that brings you an increase to your finances and makes you happier too, especially if you're not really that thrilled or happy about the place where you're working right now. If you feel like a love relationship or anything else is draining too much of a financial drain to your pocket, you may even feel like you're going to leave that. So maybe you're connected with somebody that has too many debts or too many bills, or like they're glomming onto you. It could be a spouse or a significant other, and you feel like they're draining your finances. Could even be coming from kids or whatever. But you may cut that off or leave that situation if that's something that's occurring for you. You have the Hanged Man next, and this is being in limbo. You're not moving forward, you're not moving backward, you're in a state of suspended animation, and you have to draw strongly from your own psychic ability and intuition when you're in the Hanged Man state. I feel like it's a waiting game for you right now, that you really, really don't want to make any moves left or right. And I'm going to tell you, with planetary energies that's going on, I would not advise it. I wouldn't advise you to make any big, hard, fast decisions and moves until you get into October. We've got too many things. 5 planets are going to be retrograde. I mean, good grief. And when Mars is in retrograde, we're in the shadow. Then it's Mercury in retrograde. Uranus is going to end up going into retrograde too. And I don't know. I forget all the ones. There's quite a few. There's a lot. Saturn, I don't know. There's 5 of them retrograde. I wouldn't make any big jumps, moves, or decisions until you get into like mid-October, if you can hang in there. I do see some of you Scorpios going, oh my God, I can see it clearly now. I couldn't really see what was sitting right in front of me, or the forest for the trees, but now I'm starting to see. You're having some, you're not the first sign to get this. There's somebody, another sign or two got like some kind of awakening, something coming to light or being revealed. But for you, I feel like it's been kind of in front of you, and you either didn't want to look at it and see it, or it's just really glaringly obvious to you in June. I do feel some of you are going to be talking to somebody that can give you guidance, that can help you out of the jam you're in. Maybe you're going to talk to counselors and therapists or spiritual counselors. Maybe some of you are going to headhunters to look that, or talk to somebody that can help you get a different job or position. You got multiple possibilities here. I do feel some of you have kind of been secretly looking into things behind the scenes to either get another job, or maybe you don't like your living situation, or maybe you're in a coupled situation and you really want to get out, but you don't want to say anything yet. So you may be looking at for like apartment hunting, condo hunting, townhouse hunting, home hunting, job hunting, doing things behind the scenes, undercovers that people aren't really going to know what you're doing. It's not time to reveal that yet. You're in the research and development stage of many things. So I hope this little update helped you. Please stay tuned at the beginning of the month of July, because those readings are 3 times as long and will give you a lot more information. This is just the quick update. So I hope these messages were of help to you, Scorpio. Now on to the sign of Sagittarius. And the first card you have, Sagittarius, is the Death card. And this could be transformation, something ending so something new can begin. Sometimes this card shows up when someone that has passed away for you recently. Could be a relative or a friend. So it could really be something that's already happened, like a death, or it's something transforming in your life. I feel like in June will be a big month of collecting your thoughts, Sagittarius. I feel like your emotions and your thoughts and your mental state is like kind of scattered all over the place, like a bag of marbles that dropped on the ground and have rolled in a million different directions. Some of you are working towards some kind of goal. You may be cleaning your house out, or it could be somebody else's house, an estate. Maybe a relative to you passed away and now you have to clean their house out, but it could be your house or place you live that you're doing that. I see you getting everything in order and making big plans and having to get everything just so figured out, in order and in alignment. If you're dealing with any wills and estates or anything like that, or just any kind of estate situation, you may be having to get paperwork in order, submitted to the right, government agencies and whatnot. It could also be tricky times looking for accessing and finding paperwork in the month of June, and maybe in the months ahead also, in the next 2 to 3 months following June. I see some situations arising around you, Sagittarius, where you're going to be putting your foot down. And you're going to be telling it could be family members or a loved one or coworkers, I don't know who, but I see situations arising around you where you're going to be putting your foot down and you're going to say, I'm not having any more of this. I'm not standing for this. Whatever this is that's kicking up and happening, you're going to say, I'm not having it. I feel like you need to see more results. I feel like you're surrounded by people that aren't really helpful enough to you, or you need help from other people, or the people that you are affiliated with through a job or work, or maybe they're not pulling their weight, or they're not up to par with what is expected of them. And if you see slacking going on, I don't care whether it's your personal life or at a job, you're going to put your foot down and say, I'm not having it. You got to step up to the plate. You've got the Page of Cups next. This could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. That could be their sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you, Sagittarius, if your rising sign or your moon sign is a water sign. It could also be somebody that's immature or young at heart. It could also be a child to you. But adults come up as pages all the time, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's a little child. Could also be a messenger bringing in a message of love, because cups symbolize love. I feel like there's a lot of inner workings and things that are complicated, some things, inner workings and complications, and maybe some things are going to feel like they're a mess or mixed up to you in June, and maybe even part of July at the beginning. Any situations that have gotten off on a bad foot, I see you want to rectify them, straighten them out, and get them in order and smooth things over. So if someone recently started working with you or for you, and you guys kind of butt heads in the beginning, you may want to like pave the way for better relations with them. It could be, if you've, especially, you may have a bone to pick with somebody if you feel like there's somebody around you that's undermining you, undermining your opinion or your authority. You may be feeling tested about that. Even if it didn't look like it was in an overt way, you may feel like somebody did that to you in an unobvious way, but you could pick it up that they were kind of like undermining you somehow. I feel like you're dealing with some tricky situations and you do want to help, but you know, I hear you saying to someone, you can't have it both ways. So I feel like you've got some complicated situations going on. There's some people that may be taking advantage of you a little bit and or manipulating you or undermining you or all of the above. I feel like you're dealing with a lot of different people or a few people, and they've got constantly changing views or personalities. Like one day they're up, the next day they're down. And it's like it's affecting you. It's affecting your psyche and how you deal with them and how you function in your own life. I feel that September is going to bring in a breath of fresh air and clear out a lot of these cobwebs. Some of you, it may happen sooner. It could be even in July or August. But timing is different for everyone because you don't all have the same birth chart. All Sagittarians are not born on the same month, day, year. You don't have the same birth time. You're not born in the same country or city of origin. So therefore, your planetary placement on your chart is all different, so your timing is going to be different. Keep that in mind whenever you listen to astrology or psychic readings on YouTube. That's why sometimes stuff you can hear 1 month, not just what I say, what other people say, you may find it happens 6 months later. That's because your birth chart isn't the same as this one's chart, that even though you're all Sagittarians. So think about that. Hope this reading was of help to you and not confusing, because you had confusing stuff that came up here. Now on to the sign of Capricorn. And the first card you have here, Capricorn, is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is trapped in an emotional prison or trapped in a situation that you can't see how to get out of. It could be you just don't, or you don't know something that's going on, but you may be feeling imprisoned or trapped in some way. I feel that some of you Capricorns are having a suspicion that there were a lot of things done behind your back and that you don't really like that, like you suspected that there was. It could be at work, it could be in your family life or in your love life. I don't know where it's coming from because it's a general reading, Capricorn, but I see you're suspecting it or you feel it already, and you're like, you're having that feeling like you feel like things were done behind your back and you don't really like it. I picked that up. I feel that some of you Capricorns are under pressure where you feel like there's so much you need to do and so much you need to do right now, and a feeling of like you have to prove yourself, or higher ups or professionals above you are watching you, and so you have to really bring forward the goods. You have to come up with the goods. You have to prove yourself in some way. So you do have some kind of element of pressure that's on you in these next few months. And this could be making you feel like you're trapped in some kind of prison, because it is some kind of pressure here. You may be feeling a little stuck or stymied, especially in love. It could be work too, where I see you questioning yourself about what is it you really want and what is it you really need. It could be for many of you in a love partner relationship. I see you figuring it out, like you have to only tackle the big stuff. You can't worry about, like, you know, the phrase, don't sweat the small stuff. That's what comes up here. Like, you have to tackle the big issues and the big stuff, and the small stuff is going to have to wait for another day. So I see that energy going on for some of you Capricorns in June. I do see new people coming into a situation. It could be work, it could be a family situation, and I feel like somehow this is making things a little more complicated or a little trickier for you. You need to strategically plan your next moves, because I see you very cognizant of the thought, like, I'm not about to lose my job or lose my position, or if there's a position you want, have somebody else come in and beat you out for it and take it. So I see a lot of your thoughts are going towards strategizing and planning. You have the King of Cups next, and this is a water sign male. This could be a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. That could be their sun sign, their rising sign, or their moon sign. It could be you, Capricorn, if you have a rising sign or moon sign that is a water sign. You may have a relationship going on with this King of Cups that's a strong bond, and it may be making you feel a little nuts. It could be a love relationship, like a strong love relationship that's happening. But either way, even if it is love and things are going good, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like it's a little daunting to you or making you feel a little nuts. They may tell you, if you're single dating this guy or girl, they may tell you they're going to move and they want you to come with them. They may be making some big plan, big move, and they're going to give you that option. And you maybe now you're going to go, oh my God, am I going to move? Am I actually going to do it? Am I ready to do it? I'm not sure if I want to do it. So you could be trapping yourself in an emotional prison about that, with your own, what do I want in a relationship and what uncertainties you may have, because they did say that in the beginning with this Eight of Swords card. I do feel this King of Cups has a genuine caring for you and a real respect, like he or she has a lot of respect for you. I see mutual respect going back and forth between you and the King of Cups. There's change, big advancement and plans of change going on around the King of Cups. And this King of Cups is connected to you. So whatever changes are, this could be your spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend to you, a significant other to you, or I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it's a boss. It could be, but I get more of a romantic connection here. And I feel like it could be a boss, but I get whatever the big changes are that are going on around this King of Cups are directly going to be impacting and affecting you. So if it's a love partner to you, it's going to affect you. If it's a boss, it's going to affect you. And you are going to be in a position of having to get clear and figure out what it is you want to do, and are you emotionally ready to make certain steps or moves, or how you feel about what's happening with this king. So hopefully these messages made sense to you, Capricorn. Stay tuned at the beginning of July, because the readings that I do at the beginning of the month are 3 times as long as this mid-month update. So now on to the sign of Aquarius. And the first card you have here, Aquarius, of the two, is the Six of Pentacles. And this is the balance of give and take, receiving money generously from somebody else, like generosity coming to you. It could you be giving money generously and freely to someone else. It can also mean the balance of give and take. I do see some of you Aquarians are going to see some kind of jump up or some kind of increase in your finances in June, or it could happen in July and August. I also see you receiving some great insight and inspiration or ideas, and I feel you need to actually be on top of them and write them down so you don't forget them, because you may want to do something with them or capitalize on them in some way in your future. I do feel there's going to be some big revelations coming to you about money, and some surprising news or information or insights about either your finances or money that could be coming to you. I see any Aquarians that this increase in their money starts to happen, it's going to give you more freedom to spend your money, but I feel like it's a good time to plan and think ahead about what you're actually going to do with this, how you're going to put it to good use, because I see strategizing and planning going on around it. So this increase in money is good for you, but you have to put some thought and measured thinking into what you're going to do. Some of you could receive a windfall of cash through winning something, the lottery, or money coming to you like in an inheritance or a gift of cash. because I do see some of you, it's just your money is increasing, but some of you could receive it in a bigger way. Some of you may actually take some of the money that you have coming in, this increase, and paying some debts, clearing away some debts comes up for some of you. And anything you start now could generate new income, but I wouldn't implement it until after August passes due to planetary influences. So any ideas, big ideas or plans or projects that you can capitalize and make money off of and increase your income wouldn't be the best time to start. It would not really be in June. It's a good time to write the ideas down, but not necessarily to implement them. Next card you have is the Devil, and this is being addicted to something, someone. It could be an addictive relationship. It could be addicted to gambling, sex, spending money, anything like that, alcohol, any kind of addictions. And if it's not you, it could be somebody you're connected to that has this addiction. I feel that some of you are going to be angry because I feel some of you are going to find out some information how possibly that somebody stole money from you, or that how your money was being spent or allocated really wasn't being put in the right positions or in the right way. It could be stock investments and bonds and things like that. You're not happy with how it's being allocated. It could be that you found out that exes or relatives of yours of some sort may have stolen money from you or misappropriated funds from a business you have. You just have to be on your guard about your finances in June and going into July and August also. You also may be very worried about competition and putting strong protective measures on the finances that you do have. So if you're afraid that something's going to go down in a negative way in regard to your money, you may start putting your money in different things, like shifting it and changing it or doing things with it that would be protective to it so that it won't, like if you feel like the stock market's not going to do well, maybe you want to take it out of the stock market and put it in property or something else. If you have an attachment to someone that is unhealthy for you, it's the time to leave it. These eclipses that are going to come up in July, one of them is in your sign of Aquarius, and that always brings endings and new beginnings. So I feel some of you that have some kind of unhealthy attachment to someone will be, or an unhealthy relationship, you will be ending it. And also any addictive behaviors you have, regardless of what it is. Maybe you're addicted to sugar or caffeine or spending too much money or, whatever it is, you will be ending that. You're going to stop any addictive behaviors that you may personally have. You're going to take a look at it, and I feel in the next, anywhere between now and the next 4 to 5 months, you will be working on putting a stop to it. And like I said, it could even be stuff that you're eating or drinking that you're addicted to. So I hope these messages were of help to you, Aquarius. Now on to the sign of Pisces. So the first card you have here, Pisces, is the Five of Pentacles. And this can be two people that are in a state of depression or financial bankruptcy. Could be emotional bankruptcy. Could also be needing to pay attention to your finances. Maybe you're not looking at them closely enough. So we'll see what it means for you. I do feel like there has been a sense of too many things have been troubling you as of late, Pisces. Maybe not even just in the month of June. It could have been prior to June. But in the month of June, I feel like you feel troubled by things. And to me, it feels like you're looking for something good, a wholesome relationship or a wholesome, happy lifestyle. And you feel like something in your life is lacking or missing. Maybe it's just a piece of the puzzle is missing and you're noticing it or feeling it in June. I do see you thinking like, you know what, I don't always want to rely on other people to help me or help me figure it out or save me. I need to, pony up and figure it out myself. So some of you are starting to get a little more determined, like to find the solutions yourself to the issues you're facing. I really feel like you're going through this big change. I'm surprised it's not the death card of transformation, because I feel like you are going through some kind of emotional catharsis or some kind of big breakthrough, and you're figuring out who you are and what you want. It's coming up, and I feel like these eclipses coming up in July are also going to be pushing this kind of energy along, as well as the fact that Uranus changed signs from Aries into Taurus is adding to this too. I feel like you're making yourself into a new person, and I feel like you're going to start approaching people and situations that you have to deal with from a new angle. And this could be your school that you attend, or work that you work, or colleagues, or if you try out for a new job. You're going to change some of the ways you handle and deal with people and situations. I do see some of you holding on a little bit to grievances and resentments to situations and people of the past. And I feel like for some reason it's coming up and you're revisiting it, or you're looking at it in June. I'm not sure what the catalyst is here, but keep in mind, this is a general reading, and not everything I say is going to make sense to all of you Pisces. And if you know your rising sign and your moon sign, I would recommend that you check that out if what I'm saying doesn't make sense to you right now. You have the Magician card next, which is good. This is the card of the manifester. What you think about, you bring about, and what you have all the tools in front of you with which to do it. And what's in the spiritual plane, you can manifest into physical reality. I do see you taking more charge and command of things going on in your life. I see you retaliating in a very big way against any opposition. If you have anybody that opposes you in either work, love, business, anything, you're not going to take it lying down. You're not going to roll over and let it steamroll over you. You're going to be standing up for yourself and setting them straight and telling them like it is. You're going to be counting things, taking inventory. I also see some of you looking at some of the things. It could be stuff at work, but for some of you, it could be in your own life, of your own feelings and emotions, or your own stuff. And what isn't working for you anymore, you may be deciding to let it go. I see you being very confrontational in June and July, maybe part of it, and not letting anybody stand in your way, and you will be standing up for yourself. I do feel some new relationships forming for you with some new people that you're going to meet in August, in the beginning of August. Now, it could happen sooner for some of you, could happen later for others. And I don't really feel like it's just one person. I'm getting a few people here. Some of you have the opportunity for new love or romance to be blooming, but it is in the offing. I don't know that it's going to actually happen for you in June, although it might. It feels like it's a month or two out of that, after that. So if you're already coupled, that does not apply to you. That was for single Pisces, that part of the message. You're going to feel like you're getting along better with people, and I see many of you feeling like eventually, as you work through these energies, you're going to feel an alleviation of your burdens. Like social burdens and pressures are going to be lifting, or burdens and pressures and things that I pick up in this card that you need to let go of. I actually do see you in the end result getting rid of them, but it's not like a light switch where it's here and then here. It's like here, and then all the standing up for yourself, not taking any crap from anybody, changing your perspective of how you deal with people and things is in the middle, and then the pressures are alleviated for you, and socially things change for you, and you meet some new people, and maybe even a new love relationship and a connection. So it's not point A to point B, it's like point A to A and a half, and then B. So I hope these messages made sense to you. Please stay tuned at the beginning of the month when my messages for each sign are 3 times as long as they are right here. So I want to thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking my videos. Thank you for subscribing and for Google Plusing. I do truly appreciate that. And please be sure to subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I upload my videos here to YouTube. And there are 3 links posted below. If you're interested in getting any of these 3 special videos I've recorded for download and purchase, you can access any one of these 3 by clicking on the link below this video, and it will take you to those videos on my Vimeo on demand page for download and purchase. Also, you can access those 3 video series listed below by going to my website, www.theluckymermaid.com. Click on the videos tab on my menu, and they will be the first 3 video series listed at the top of that page. The first one is the Psychic Crystal reading for the month of June for 2018. The second listing is going to be for the mid-year Psychic Tarot update, where I used the Cat Black Golden Tarot deck, and I did readings for each sign of the Zodiac from June of 2018 through until the end of the year of end of December 2018. They're long videos. Those videos are about 20 minutes long. The third series of videos here, which may be the first on the page on my website, are audio only, where I use the John Holland Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle card deck, and I pulled 4 cards for each sign of the Zodiac to look at love and love relationships for your sign. But on the video, it is kind of like a video in the sense that there's a picture of the 4 cards I drew for you throughout the whole recording, but you do not see me. You only hear my voice and see the 4 cards. And all of those have been pretty popular. I have to say the audio love readings, people really seem to have been responding. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about them, and also the mid-year. I've had people emailing me telling me this was accurate, that was accurate. So you may want to check those out. So I wish you an absolutely joyous rest of your month of June, all the signs of the Zodiac, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.